Hello and welcome to Held and Heard. This is a podcast for pregnant and postpartum mamas who want to feel more connected to their babies and more confident in themselves. Here, we talk about elimination communication and infant potty learning as a way of listening, not as something to add to your plate, but as a way to better understand what your baby has been communicating from the very beginning. This is a place where you learn to trust your baby and yourself. I'm your host, Heather Medlin, mother of 3, infant potty learning educator, and founder of Ready for Birth, where I guide postpartum mamas through every stage of early potty learning, from birth to toilet independence. Each week, I'll help you slow down, tune in, and discover just how aware and capable your baby already is, so you can meet them with confidence instead of doubt. Your baby is communicating, and you are capable of listening. Let's get started. Yesterday evening, I was packing up at the pool. My kids had all been swimming and thunder had rolled in and it was time to go home for dinner. So I'm getting my kids dressed, change out of their pool clothes. And I realized something wild. I was changing my baby and he was kind of running away from me across the pool deck, totally naked. And I'm chasing after him, grabbing him, and then stuffing his little chubby legs into underwear. And I realized that this probably looks pretty bizarre to most of the people around me, all the people that are at the pool. And of course, I'm not talking to them. I'm doing my mom thing, getting my own kids ready, wrangling toddlers. And I realized that this probably looks pretty weird to other people. Here I am with a 13-month-old baby, barely walking. He's not talking. And I'm getting him dressed in underwear. And I realized that what has become completely normal to us and our family is still wildly unheard of in most of the Western world and certainly most of our community around us. And I wanted to address why. Why do we do this? And last week, if you caught last week's podcast, I really dove deep into the how. How did we potty train both of our younger 2 children by 1 year old? And I explained, even as a working mom, 5 things that we did to make that possible. So if you want to know kind of the nuts and bolts of how we did it, definitely go check out that episode. But the bigger question underlying the how is why? Why would you want to rush your baby out of diapers in the first place? And I actually have a lot of really close friends who know full well what I do with EC, what I teach, how we do it, and they can't be bothered to try it with their baby. And they really do not see the value in why you would want to do this in the first place. Why would you want to get your baby out of diapers 2 years earlier in the first place? And obviously, this is a very personal decision. And there's a lot of lifestyle factors that underlie this decision and whether EC is right for you and your family. But I wanted to shed some light on this. And the context of our family is that we have 2 full-time working parents. We have 3 small children. None of them are in school yet. My oldest is about to start kindergarten. And we've still chosen to do EC with our younger 2 babies. And we have still gotten both of our younger ones out of diapers at 1. My daughter, my middle child, who's now 3.5, she was out of diapers by 14 months before she even started walking. Our baby, we had him out of daytime diapers at home by 7.5 months, and he did not start walking until 12 months. So why did we do this? And what is the point, really? Besides the obvious benefits, which are you're going to save a lot of money because you're not buying diapers for 2 to 3 years. You are going to be able to stop changing poopy diapers because your baby is probably getting 90 to 99% of poops in the potty. And you're going to reduce waste because you're not throwing away diapers in the landfill. Approximately 95% of people who use diapers are using exclusively disposables. So that is a lot of waste. When you consider that the average child uses approximately 6,000 diapers between birth and full toilet training, which is usually about 36 months old in the Western world. When they use about 6,000 disposable diapers, that is a lot of waste. Also, there's going to be the obvious benefit of it's going to be easier for your child to learn how to walk when they're not carrying around a bulky diaper on their legs. There's actually 2 studies I want to reference here. One of them was done in 2012. It was the Go Naked study, and it was done by Cole and others. And they found that diapers lead to shorter steps, a wider stance, and more falls in infants who are wearing bulky diapers. So either a very wet disposable diaper that gets very heavy and is hanging, or a very bulky cloth diaper, which is simply more bulky just by virtue of being cloth and having to manage liquid without using the hydrogels and whatnot that are in typical disposable diapers. And then another study was done in 2021. This one was by Ueda and others. And they were measuring this theory and they were kind of testing it again. And they found that the high bulk stress of, again, wet disposables and bulky cloth diapers have a measurable impact on toddler gait patterns as compared to naked, or obviously in underwear, which is very, very thin and not carrying around additional weight and bulk. So when a baby is wearing diapers, the way that we typically do in the Western world, it has a measurable and substantial impact on their gait as they're learning to walk. It means that they are going to fall more. They have an immature gait pattern for longer. They're not going to be able to walk as well or as safely or as early as a baby who is not wearing diapers. But if you're already on board with YEC to begin with, what is the harm in continuing to use diapers along with it? A big thing that I advocate is to do EC and use diapers. Especially as a working mom, I know that I'm speaking a lot to working moms, and I really want to encourage you, if you fall into that category, to consider EC. Being a working mom, being primarily out of the house or away from your child, does not preclude the use of EC for you and your family. You can absolutely do that when your child is in care with someone else. But that typically means that they're also going to be using diapers, probably disposables, along with it. So is it possible to do EC with diapers? Yeah, absolutely. We did. We did that with both of our children. But the mistake that most people make is that they rely on diapers for too long. They do not make the transition out of diapers when their child is developmentally ready to move on out of diapers and begin to spend more and more time in underwear with less dependence on diapers. I want to put something out there. This is just something that I have been observing and noticing as I go about my life and interact with lots of other moms and other small children, most of whom are still using diapers. I would say all of whom are still using diapers well into their toddler years. This is what I'm calling the diaper effect. The diaper effect is the cultural result of the choice to depend on diapers for small children from birth and often onto 2 to 3 years old. And what I'm noticing is that when a child is wearing a diaper, diapers mask the event of the pee or a poop. So if a baby's diaper or a toddler's diaper is being changed, it is not because they just peed or they just pooped. It is because it is convenient for the parent to change the baby. Maybe it's time for a nap, and so they're changing the baby into a dry diaper. Maybe they're about to get in the car, and so they're putting on a dry diaper. Or maybe they did poop and the parent has just now noticed that it has happened, and therefore they are changing their baby. So a change is not coinciding with the actual event of the pee or the poop happening. And therefore the baby is not able, or the child is not able to connect the dots between the event happening and the response. This is a reactive parenting approach. They are reacting to the wet diaper or the dirty diaper, and they are changing it. It is going to mask the actual event. Now, consider the purpose of a diaper, the purpose of a disposable diaper, and what is marketed to us as moms in a Pampers ad, for example. The purpose of the diaper is to keep your baby feeling dry and comfortable for as long as possible and through as many pee events as possible. Many, many diapers are marketed as keeps baby dry for 12 hours or more. Your baby is going to sleep soundly through the night. They're never going to notice that they're wet. These diapers are hyper-engineered for performance. They are designed to keep your baby dry and comfortable through multiple pee events for as long as possible so that they never notice that they have peed or that they are wet, and they can continue on about their business. The mom or the caregiver does not have to change the diaper as frequently. It is a more convenient approach to parenting. So they are marketing convenience to the parent. That is the purpose of a current modern disposable diaper. But when you're using a diaper like this, it's masking the moment. It's a lost opportunity to connect the dots with your child of when we feel this feeling in our body and we pee, oh, pee is supposed to go in the potty. Pee is supposed to go in the toilet. We are creating a behavioral habit of not stopping what we're doing, not going to the bathroom when we need to go, just peeing and pooping in a diaper whenever, wherever, and somebody is going to come and change it later. But in the method that I teach in the Born Ready course and in the Ditch the Diapers course, which is for older babies who have had some EC and are ready to move on into underwear, in my courses, the method that I teach and the way that I teach it, it is about normalizing dryness as a result of communication, incontinence, or control. So your baby is dry not because they're wearing a high-performance, ultra-engineered product that keeps them from noticing that they're wet, but dry because they actually have not peed or pooped in their pants. Dry because pee and poop goes in the potty, not in their underwear or their diaper. And the truth is, and I'm probably the only one you're ever going to hear say this, I want my baby to feel wet and uncomfortable if they pee in their pants. I don't want them to pee and not notice it. I want my baby to feel that discomfort and have the feedback of, oh, I peed, something happened. I noticed that. There is a very real, very tangible consequence to not stopping what I'm doing and going to the bathroom. Because when we start toilet learning from birth or from the early days, your baby is naturally going to learn that dryness feels better than wetness. They're naturally going to learn that pee and poop goes in the potty or the toilet. They're going to learn that a caregiver is going to respond to their signals that they need to go. They're going to respond to those urges that the baby is feeling in their body, and they're going to take them to the bathroom and they're going to have a chance to go. When we are layering on this toilet learning over time, your baby is gradually developing the skills and the awareness and the communication and the continence to be able to hold it and go successfully and keep their underwear dry. When this happens, if my baby is wearing underwear, my 13-month-old baby is wearing underwear and he pees in his underwear, which often happens, he's still a baby and he's not perfect, and I'm not perfect because he's not verbal, and sometimes I simply miss his cues, or the caregiver that he's with misses his cues because they're also taking care of my other two older children. It's normal. An accident is normal. But when that happens, we are immediately acknowledging that that happened. We're saying, oh, you peed in your pants. PB goes in the potty, and we're immediately taking him to the bathroom. We're changing him into dry clothes. We're wiping him down. We're putting him on the potty or giving him a chance to sit on the potty again in case he has more, because sometimes if a baby is peeing in their underwear, it is because a poop is coming and they need to poop also. So we're always responding to every single pee or poop event that happens. We're responding immediately. We're making that connection for them. We are giving them language around what has happened. We are showing them exactly what is supposed to happen next, or what was supposed to happen first before they had the accident in their pants. And we are doing this consistently. And when we are doing this consistently, your baby is learning that when I need to go pee, I am supposed to stop what I'm doing and go to the bathroom. If we are not doing this, if we are not responding every single time because our baby is wearing a diaper, which is masking the moment, again, it's masking the moment in the event of what's happening, our baby is not learning that the need to pee should be met with an interruption of whatever it is that we're doing. It should be met with, hey, communicate, we're riding in the car, we're like 15 minutes to the grocery store. Hey, mama, I need to pee. Is it inconvenient to stop on your way to the grocery store? Yes, absolutely. But you can always respond and say, hey, we're 5 minutes away. Can you hold it? I'm going to get you out as soon as we get there. And then you get there, you get them out, you give them a chance to go potty. And maybe they already peed and they're already wet. That's okay. Again, responsive parenting, learning moment. Hey, you peed in your pants. Pee-pee goes in the potty. You change them, they're dry, you start over, you start fresh. Now, if they were in a diaper and you get there and they're wet, that's fine, but you don't know when it happened. They might have peed 2 minutes ago or an hour ago. And sometimes it's really hard to tell if they're wearing a diaper. So you're losing this connection of the urge, the communication, and the response. If your baby is wearing underwear, now you have a chance for responsive parenting rather than reactive parenting. For the pre-crawling months prior to ditching the diapers, you want a diaper that protects your baby's sensitive skin and provides feedback and a sensation of wetness, especially if you're doing EC. Hero is the perfect combo. It's made of blanket soft, unbleached wood pulp, no gross plastic gel that you find in conventional diapers, and it's free of the toxic bromothol blue, that wetness indicator strip that often turns from yellow to blue. And it has a slower wicking core that both pulls moisture away and lets your baby know that something happened. There's not just a masked effect of them peeing in the diaper and they don't know what happened or that it's something to respond to. The best part, Hero developed some earth-friendly sidekicks that come with plastic-eating friendly fungi that literally break down the entire diaper, pulp, plastic, poop, and all, in the landfill in a matter of months, not 400 years like conventional diapers. If you want to try the most sustainable, EC-approved diaper on the market, visit HeroDiapers.com and use the code ReadyFromBirth for a lifetime discount on your Hero subscription. You are going to love it. But with the method that I teach in Ditch the Diapers, you won't need them for long. All right, thanks so much for listening today. I would love to hear what you thought about this episode. If you would like to let me know how you're liking this content, if there are things you would love for me to talk about, questions that you may have, maybe you've tried this with your baby and you want to share a win with me, you can either DM me at readyfrombirth.ec on Instagram, or you can write to me at hello@readyfrombirth.com. If you loved today's episode, would you take a moment to help me reach even more mamas with this message? Leave me a review or share this with a friend. You can help even more families discover what's possible. You can find education and support for every stage of your baby's potty learning journey at readyfrombirth.com. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at readyfrombirth.ec. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be back every Monday with a brand new episode. See you next time. Bye for now.